Years later, Shaka Smart added, for those that weren't around in 1969, George Thompson, the original Dwayne Wade. Your business is unique, and your health plan should be too. At United Healthcare, our group health plans are built for you and your employees. Whether you're running a small startup or managing a large enterprise, we offer solutions designed to fit your needs, your goals, and your budget. Explore your options today at uhc.com/Wisconsin. Insurance coverage provided by or through United Healthcare Insurance Company or its affiliates. Administrative services provided by United Healthcare Services, Inc. or their affiliates. Health plan coverage provided by or through United Healthcare of Wisconsin, Inc.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
We are the home for all your Brewers coverage. 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee. A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Shutdown. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamora. Here's Jen Latta.
Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, I am excited. I love this day. First official day of the tournament. Got my bracket all filled out. Not sure how successful it's going to be, but, you know, half the fun in the old bracket is just filling out the bracket. And then watching.
Mascot theme?
I did not. No, I went with actual basketball. And I want to get to that as the morning rolls on because I'll be out at Potawatomi all day today, reveling in the festivities. So no better place to be than Potawatomi on a day like today. But before we get to that, we got to get to, what did we call this back in the day, Joshy? Wasn't there like a fun little phrase we had for this storyline that never seems to end?
Enough with this nonsense.
It would be front office malpractice. Whether or not Giannis blesses this or not, to not go out and aggressively pursue a trade.
Mobley for Giannis, straight up. What do you think? Call it in right now.
Done.
You're done if you're Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I think it's a great trade.
At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
It's the season of nonsense.
Yeah, it continues. We're still doing it. So maybe you saw yesterday the latest on Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis is dealing with an injury, another injury. It's been a little bit of a tough season for Giannis with the injuries on the injury front. But the Bucks, according to multiple sources, okay? And I want to start with this, Chew. Because there are Bucks fans out there who don't believe a single word that comes out of Sham's mouth, okay? But on The Athletic, local beat reporter Eric Name is also reporting the same story, which is to say that Giannis is pushing back against the Bucks, wanting to shut him down for the rest of the season. There are 14 games left for the Milwaukee Bucks. They are on the outside looking in, much to our chagrin, much to Bucks fans' chagrin. But he doesn't want to be shut down. This is according to multiple reports. Where are we with this? Where do you stand? How should this shake out? Chew.
Well, my first thought was the Bucks are kind of tired of this drama. They don't want him to suffer a catastrophic injury because they know he's going to be on the move and they have to get the most they can for him. Which I got pushback from you guys.
You did? No, I don't know.
You don't think they're
classic Chewy? You said something different, and we gave you pushback.
Well, I did throw in there. I think I did throw in there. I think the Bucks are sick of this drama, and they just want to shut it down, and everything else followed that. You don't think they're sick of it?
I don't know if they're sick of it, Chew. What I do think is your point about trying to protect an asset
yes.
is right on the money. Okay? If the Bucks have read the writing on the wall, which says that Giannis's time in Milwaukee is coming to a close, then they have a responsibility to the franchise overall, and that is to get as much as they can out of this asset. And I'm not talking about playing time on the court, obviously. I'm talking about when you trade him. If, and it's a huge if, but this is the whole risk reward, risk management, risk assessment. If Giannis were to get hurt over the final 14 games of the Bucks regular season, that significantly changes what teams might be willing to give in exchange for Giannis.
Yes.
And again, we're not sitting here, breaking any news here. I don't think that we're, geniuses for thinking of this. This is more of this is common sense, right? And so what I understand and appreciate is Giannis's competitiveness and his desire to be out there on the court night in and night out, willing his team, putting the team on his back, trying to get as many victories as possible. I appreciate that. But we have talked for weeks, man, about the common sense element of this thing, Chew. And I think you are right on when it comes to this is what's in the best interest of the franchise.
See, I would use it as a negotiating ploy. I would say, okay, Giannis, if you tell us that you're going to sign a new deal with us, you can play. You can play tomorrow if you want. But if not, then we have to CYA. We have to. And then see what he says to that. My guess is he would just poo-poo around the subject. But if he didn't give him confirmation, I say, we have no other choice to shut you down. Okay? We have no other choice.
All right, let me see if I'm following this, because I think I am, but I want to make sure. You're saying if Giannis were to say to them, hey, I'm in. I'm sticking around. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not leaving, right? Which wasn't that the gif or the meme? If he were to double down on that and say that this offseason he plans to stay, finish his career in Milwaukee, sign the Supermax et al., then are you saying that the Bucks might have
Let him play. Absolutely. Yes, but if you can't give us a definitive answer, then and just tell him. And I would explain it to him. Do you understand our position? And see what he says. Because he's got to understand their position. They're going to lose the franchise guy. Have to protect that, So I would go down that route. And if it still continues to be banging heads against the wall, then I'm sure there's some tag you could put on, like the NFL puts a player on IR and shuts down his season. I would go in that direction. It's time to start playing hardball, though. You're not, Giannis, you're not driving the bus anymore.
You can inactivate a player, so it doesn't you have a 15-man roster. It's not going to affect that, but you can essentially say this person is not going to be playing. The thing I found interesting was sort of the contentious nature in which this is being addressed, where it's like a straight-up refusal from Giannis to be put on the shelf for the rest of the season, to be out, and to kind of call it a quits. That, to me, feels like a different step in what... It's been kind of eggshells. Giannis is doing the eggshells of, am I going to stay? Am I going to sign a Supermax? Am I going to ask for a trade? And the Bucks have sort of been eggshelling around, what are we going to do here? How do we best keep this asset happy while also making the asset as valuable as possible? And now it seems like they've just met an absolute head here, and it seems to be going in the opposite direction for people like Gabe, who thought maybe there's a chance you can figure something out this offseason and keep Giannis around for as long as possible.
It's time to start moving in the Favre Rodgers direction, where there was a pivot. Favre and Rodgers were driving the bus until the Packers finally got sick of Favre and said, are you retiring or not? Enough games. So I think they need to be more stern, put your foot down, and essentially give them an ultimatum. Say, we'll let you play if you're going to sign on the dotted line. If you're not going to sign on the dotted line, we have to protect our asset. That's how it's going to be. If you don't agree with us, then we're going to put you on a list that prevents you from playing.
It's amazing how convicted you can be in a position when you're coming from the right place, which I think everybody who looks at this with common sense eyes knows the Bucks are coming at it from the right place. They are, in fact, 6.5 games back for 10th place and the final spot in the play-in tournament as of, I think, yesterday. So they're looking at this going, Giannis is currently injured, even though Doc Rivers said that the tests have come back positively, right? Wasn't that the thing of like MRI looks good or something like that? And they're doing the easy math going, okay, we can't win this thing. We can't make a run like we thought we could at some point. The only thing to do is to shut down the superstar who has dealt with nagging injuries as the season has gone on to protect him from himself. Because here's the other layer to it, ladies and gentlemen. If Giannis had different gears, right? I might be able to make the argument, no, we've seen him be able to go out there and play at 50%, be able to protect himself from further injury. Giannis has one gear, and it's great. It's fantastic that he plays all out every night, right? Puts his body on the line, unless you're trying to protect that body. And that's where I sit there and go, Chewy, if we had seen from Giannis maybe this example of, well, you know, when needed to, he's been able to go out there and play a different version of his game that puts him at less risk.
Yeah,
right? But we haven't.
Yeah. Do you think this is just simply a swan song for him? He wants to play the last 14 to say thank you, Milwaukee. Because, Jen, if he was signed for another 4 years and there was no trade talk, I'd still want him shut down. I would say, what's the benefit? You're not going to the playoffs. You're not making the play-in. Okay? The season's over with. Why risk it?
I think it's fair. I think it's fair to wonder if Giannis sees these final 14 games as a sort of swan song. I think it's fair to wonder that. I don't have the answer to that. I think only Giannis and his family and the people who are close to him can answer that. But, you know, the fact that this reporting is coming from multiple places, you know, The Athletic first reported this on Wednesday, that the Bucks had approached Giannis about getting shut down for the rest of the season. The Athletic also reporting that Giannis doesn't want to do that. I think this indicates that, yes, everything has sort of come to a head. And to the question of whether this is the leadership that you want from the front office of the Milwaukee Bucks, I say emphatically yes. Mm-hmm. I think too often during this process, they have sort of tiptoed around the superstar and sort of let him dictate. And I understand the strategy. Trust me, I do. But they have let him dictate the outcomes. This is the first time where I feel like they are putting their foot down and saying, I'm the captain now.
Was he involved in these meetings, or was just kind of like the Bucks met?
No, it says that that they had met
with him.
The sides had multiple meetings over the last 24 hours, but Antetokounmpo has remained adamant about returning to the court this season, feeling as long as he's not risking any further injury, sources told ESPN. It's just too much of a crapshoot, isn't it? It's too much of a gamble.
Yeah, it's way too much of a gamble, especially, you know, what everyone believes is in the future. It's just, and I would explain that to him. Say no, you know. I mean,
I don't know how much pretenses there are anymore here, or how much everyone's not clear. That to me is the confusing part. Are we all looking? Are they looking that inside that building and going, you know, you're not signing a supermax. We know you're going to have to be traded, and now we are just butting heads because you want to play and play for the fans in Milwaukee for the final time, and we don't think, with the amount of injuries you've had this season, I believe this is his 5th injury, that it's worth it. Like,
yes.
I don't know how much dancing around there actually is anymore. Hasn't things been played out pretty plainly throughout the course of the season? And the will he, won't he? Is he going to be traded? Is he not going to be traded? Do you think anybody in there has any confusion about what the ultimate end of Giannis is?
Giannis. I think Giannis still think he holds the power, and he doesn't. He doesn't.
I want to ask you guys this, and we've got Jason Wilde coming up, so we're going to talk about the Green Bay Packers right after this. Got a lot of stuff to get to this morning, including March Madness, one of my favorite days on the sports calendar. Has Giannis played his last game in a Milwaukee Bucks uniform? Given this new information, given this new dynamic of, yes, there are 14 games left. I think they play tonight, pretty sure. I think they start a West Coast road swing. Has he played his last game? Or will you see Giannis back out on the floor in a Milwaukee Bucks jersey? 800-990-3776. Chewy, what does your gut tell you?
So they have to trade him before he becomes a free agent, correct? Josh? Like, they can't let him play the season, get to that point. because ultimately he wants to be able to choose where he
isn't
wants
the
to go.
Supermax offered in October is when that can be signed, and you can have a pretty good idea at that point prior to the season
he's not
in the
gonna sign
summer,
it.
right? If he's going to sign it or not. Like, you can negotiate and discuss it in the summer, but you can't sign it officially until October. So ostensibly those conversations will be happening in the offseason.
I do believe that Giannis is still under contract until the end of the 2026-2027
Yes.
season.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's either trade him this summer or where you're probably going to get most bang, or trade him at the deadline where you won't get as much. So yes, I believe he has played his last game in a Bucks uniform.
Joshy?
Yes. Yes, I think that is the inevitable end here.
So the only caveat I will say is this. If these two have a heart-to-heart, these two sides, the Milwaukee Bucks and the Antetokounmpo group, have a heart-to-heart and say, we know how this is going to end. We're going to be somewhere else next season. Give me one more game. Give me one more game to go out there. We pick the opponent. I don't care who it is, but give me one more game to go out there, lay it all on the line, play for the fans in Milwaukee. I'm assuming it would be a home game for that reason. That's the only caveat I see right now.
Which I would let him do, Jen.
And that's what I'm saying. That would make my answer a no. He has not played his last game in a Milwaukee Bucks uniform.
Would you let the fans know it?
Back channels. I don't think you can advertise it as Giannis's last game. I think it just has to be sort of one of those things that sort of percolates, around the city and in the right crowds, and
because that'd be a hot ticket, right?
1,000,000%. And Chewy, that's another great point that you're bringing up. Every game that Giannis plays is a hot ticket, right? This is a franchise that wants to sell as many tickets as possible, right? We've seen that, tickets are down this year because the Bucks have not been a competitive team for the most part. I'm sure that they would like every opportunity to pack the stands, fill the place, but I don't think that that's even driving their decision here about Giannis on the floor.
$1 billion asset? Can you really risk to do fan service? Something like Giannis?
If he gets hurt and he's out for the next season, then you get nothing.
And that's why I can't fathom that. I can't
just the one game, Josh?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
And I got to tell you guys, and take this for what it's worth from a nefarious standpoint, other teams in the league that are interested in Giannis' services would be praying for that. You're sitting here going, oh, my God, that's so distasteful. No, they want a depressed asset? Depreciated asset, right? If I can get that boat over there that ran aground for X amount of money less than they were asking for it, So, again.
But you set parameters, though. No dunks. And if you're on a fast break, you have to stop and shoot a three.
In the All-Star
Thank
game,
you.
Chewy.
Thank you.
There is no less than
there is
1,000,000%.
And again, that to me is all part of the equation, Joshy. That is all part of the decision.
James Harden, let him go out there, do whatever. He just kind of loafs around. He stands around the three-point. He takes some shots. Not Giannis. He's in there throwing his body against people, skying up to get rebounds.
But if he does it one time, you're out of the game and you ain't going back in.
I don't think that, especially with where we are now and them having this disagreement, like, you're at losing control of what's happening on the court. And he just goes to check himself in. And then what?
Jair Alexander naming himself captain.
And then Doc's supposed to go up there and physically remove him? That's not going to work. You're going to have to get the police involved.
800-990-3776. We are asking you this morning, has Giannis played his last game for the Milwaukee Bucks? If you're just tuning in, there is some disagreement between the Bucks superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo and the organization. The organization would like to shut him down for the remainder of the season. This according to multiple reports. Giannis would like to play. Again, an admirable position, no doubt. But when it comes to common sense and the entire situation surrounding the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis's future in Milwaukee, I can't help but agree with the idea of shutting down the superstar so that you don't affect the value of the asset. We've got Jason Wilde coming up next here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. A very exciting day. I'm a big March Madness fan. Cannot wait to watch some games. We'll see if Jason Wilde is also going to be reveling in those festivities when we talk to him next.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Eastbound 94, seeing those backups coming in from before Calhoun all the way past Moreland Road, so give yourself that extra time. We've also got more delays then from about 76th Street to Hawley Road and coming out of the Stadium interchange to 35th. Now, as far as westbound's concerned, it's clear at the moment. Knock wood. We got northbound on 41, slowing down just north of Watertown Plank Road, all the way up to Burleigh, and that's pretty much it as far as any kind of delays are concerned, and no other incidents up on the board. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, early freezing rain should end. It'll be partly cloudy for the rest of the day, a high of 43. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 35. Weather's brought to you by Good Health Saunas. Upgrade your wellness routine with an in-home infrared sauna. Visit goodhealthsaunas.com and check them out at the Home and Garden Show, March 20th through the 29th at the State Fair Park Expo Center. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Tired of always waking up exhausted? Is that dad bod starting to weigh on you? Finding it harder to get excited about, basically anything? If your energy, focus, and drive aren't what they used to be, it might not be that you're just getting older. Look, I've told myself that for years, but Mentality was able to help me because there's, just like me, a good chance your hormones and metabolism are just out of balance. So this new year, let's get back to the old you. I know you remember that guy, sharp at work, full of energy, fun, the one that people enjoyed being around. That's where Mentality comes in. I've been working with Mentality for years, so I can tell you it's not a macho, low-T bro clinic. No, they're human-centered. Their mission is to figure out what's really going on in your body and brain. Mentality starts by listening. They run real labs, explain your results in plain English, and then, my favorite part, not one size fits all, they build a personalized, science-backed plan using hormone therapy and FDA-approved peptide treatments to help your brain and body get back on track. Stop telling yourself and everyone around you that you're fine. Right now, all new patient labs are covered in your treatment plan. That's a savings of $250 right out of the gate. So don't wait. Reclaim the old you, the younger you, with Mentality.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geist.
Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geist today. For 70 years, Geist has been the trusted garage door authority in Wisconsin. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to get your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to geistdoors.com. That's GEIS doors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield, featuring hundreds of doors and openers and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geist.
Ready, down, put. All Packers, all the time.
He was a field-tilting player, and the reason why Gabe and many others are so concerned is that this guy's on the field, he changes the offensive dynamic. They are a different offense when he is there.
Okay, most of the time.
You know, Homer calls Matt LaFleur soft all the time. Matt LaFleur is like Vince Lombardi compared to me.
It's Jason Wilde on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Jason Wilde on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy is brought to you by Exterior Pros. Ready to tackle your home improvement project? Exterior Pros and Baths is giving $3,000 off roofing, siding, windows, or bath remodels this month. Visit extpros.com.
Jason Wilde joining us on the Yingling guest hotline this morning on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Jason, it is the first official day of March Madness. Do you fill out a bracket? Are you excited about watching the college basketball?
I do fill out a bracket. I do not, I'm not as excited as I used to. Like, I think the way the tournament has changed and the way college basketball has changed, where you don't remember play. Hey, I remember this guy from last year's tournament at Duke or whatever. I don't love that trend, so it's a little bit, I'm not as passionate about it. These used to be, in my opinion, the best 4 days of the sports calendar. Like I love the first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament. So I'm not quite as excited as I normally am, but we usually fill out a bracket as a family. Hopefully Paula and the girls actually get on an airplane today and fill them out while they're flying home.
Jason, replacement referees, the NFL obviously didn't learn well, there's time. But didn't they learn their lesson? Where's this headed?
What lesson would that be? They still played the game.
Let's see. Seattle, Green Bay, into the game.
Man, I'll tell you what. Obviously there's been some great moments, right? Your Super Bowl team in '96, the first year I covered the team, being there to see, Ray Nitschke crying on the sideline as you guys were beating the Carolina Panthers, and then probably the tears freezing on his face. The Super Bowl championship, the run in 2010. But I've also seen some really weird stuff, and that one ranks right up there at the top. Like, I was in Seattle that night and, of course, famously asked, I love Mike McCarthy. I would say we've become friends now that I don't cover him. But it still irritates me that the infamous "I'm not in the mood for drama tonight, Jason" was in response to, first of all, not the longest question I've asked, because Lord knows they're usually long. But the question was about whether this could be something that you can use moving forward as sort of a galvanizing moment, knowing that, hey, we got cheated, and we got to now take care of business. And, he gave me the famous line. And then on Wednesday, he literally said exactly what I was asking about how this could be galvanizing for us. So, look, I would hope there are more qualified guys than the last time, and Lance Easley may be one of the people that I have in any way come across in my career that I find the most, I want to choose my word carefully here, obnoxious, unlikable, because instead of, I'm big on owning your mistakes, and instead of owning his mistake, like, who was the guy, was his name Jim Joyce? Was he the umpire who kicked the call at first base on that Detroit Tigers pitcher's perfect game? He was broken up about it, right? He felt terrible. I mean, I saw ESPN did, I don't know if it was an E60 or what it was on him, but it was great. Lance Easley, steered into the skid of I screwed up and, created a cottage industry. Did all these interviews, and he officiated Golden Tate's charity softball game. He wrote a book. So I do not see eye to eye with him, and I don't see eye to eye with Roger Goodell. I understand that the league wants to make the best deal possible in everything it does, but I don't think people appreciate how hard it is to officiate at that level. Mm-hmm. With the level of athletes and how quickly things happen. I mean, I have a few friends that are in officiating, including our guy Lance Davis, who officiates high school basketball. And I don't think people understand that at that level, it's just the same as you as a player. There is something incredibly special about the people that make it to that level in whatever capacity they do so. And one of my best friends from college, his name's Mike Carr, and he's an NFL official. He's the one that when the Chiefs were lined up off sides, I can't remember what the name of that wide receiver was. They ended up moving on from him pretty quickly, and it nullified that trick play that Kelsey and Mahomes ran. He was the official that called the offsides call and then had Mahomes getting after him. I mean, I think their job is really hard, and thank God they have replay, because I think we'd have Jerry Rice fumbled controversies all the time otherwise. But I I'm not saying just give them whatever they want, but don't risk the integrity and the quality of your game, especially once you've let gambling into the henhouse by not having real reps.
Okay, so a couple of things to nail down here. One, we're talking about this because there's a report that came out yesterday that says that the NFL is laying groundwork for hiring replacement referees this season if the league's unable to agree to a new collective bargaining agreement with the NFL Referees Association. So again, we've been talking a lot about the NFLPA and the CBA that is out there for the players and the league, but there is also negotiating going on right now between the NFL Referees Association and the NFL, and it sounds like, based on this development, it is not going well. And the reason we're talking about the replacement referees is because we could be seeing replacement referees on the field as early as this season if they're not able to come to an agreement. I just wanted to get that housekeeping note out there. Go ahead, Shu.
But Jason, it reminds me of the greatest line I've ever heard. I can't remember if it was in a game or during practice, where Tom Lovat was talking about Marco Rivera, and he said, "I have a 50-cent safe protecting $200 million in Favre."
Yep.
I mean, because I read the NFL's looking for a list of 150 mostly small college officials by the end of the weekend as replacement referees.
Yeah,
that
because
sounds like a 50-cent safe.
Right, and I think Tausch got a variation of that when he had to protect Favre as a rookie, and Mike Sherman, he must have stolen it from Tom Lovat, because he obviously coached with Lovat. First of all, they have to settle for, and nothing against the guys that do small college, right? We need to appreciate all our officials, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to play the games. That said, they're not going to dip into the Big Ten and the SEC, because those guys aren't going to cross the picket line, because many of them aspire to be in the NFL someday.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to go pretty far. That's how you end up with the Lance Easleys of the world. So I'm glad you brought that up, too, because that's exactly the point. Because not only are you not going to have the best of the best, who still get a lot wrong, but now you're going down to, who knows? Lance Davis may be eligible for this.
But isn't that, Jason, the most glaring indication that the NFL undervalues the position? The fact that they think they can go so far down the hierarchy, so far down the totem pole, and it won't affect the outcome of games, that's how little they think. And again, we've already talked about how these are all guys who are part-time officials. A lot of them have other jobs, right? It's not a full-time gig to be an NFL referee. But this is a great indication of how the NFL feels about its officiating crews.
Couldn't have said it better. You nailed it, Jen. I just want to add this part of the equation now that is different than in 2012. Gambling is such a huge part of their business now. And why on earth would you risk the integrity of your game, which is already questioned, right? People wonder about this stuff now all the time. And so why would you take that chance? Maybe this is just posturing. Maybe they're going to sell naming rights to officials, and then you're going to have to change your name to different businesses.
Jason, I think it's a really good point made by you. The gambling element here in Wisconsin, I don't know if it's universal, so I'll just reference Wisconsin. You can't gamble on college basketball, tie into today's March Madness, because it's too easy to get to those athletes. Right? They're walking around campus, and potentially pay them off essentially. Point shaving and affect the outcome of games. How easy is it going to be to get to these, what was the phrase that Chewy used? Low level? No, I'm ad-libbing here. The 150...
small college.
Small college. These guys are not as insulated as some of these other guys. I worry about their ability to, get to them and say, hey, how does $100,000 feel? Here's how this game is going to go.
Yeah, and look, this is timely, too, because the legislature did pass the sports betting legislation, I think it was yesterday, along with, the thing that that UW is hoping for to help their NIL budget. And now it goes to the governor's desk. Pretty soon, if that passes, you are going to be able to wager on college, I think. it's just pros. I gotta be honest. I did not read the bill, but again, I'm the wrong guy to talk to about this because this concerns me. Again, I haven't quit my job over it, just like I didn't quit my job over concussions. But that stuff, it really does weigh on me. That basically I pay our bills and our mortgage thanks to guys like Chewy who are out there putting themselves at risk for me to write about them.
Jason, sticking with CBAs, I've been reading some pretty shady stuff about JC.
God, you're doing a lot of reading. I'm very concerned about this.
I'm a big show prep guy. Very big. If you look at our text chain, I'm very involved. But I've been reading some shady stuff. I've been reading some shady stuff about J.C. Tretter and some of the stuff he's done while he was working with the NFLPA. And we talked to Adam yesterday, and Adam's like, well, that doesn't get a lot of traction. I said, well, it doesn't get a lot of traction because the CBA is not up for another 4 years. I don't think he's qualified. But my question to you is, what kind of guy did you perceive him to be when he was in Green Bay?
Well, he's an Ivy Leaguer, right? He went to Cornell.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I am a proud alumnus of a state land grant college. So I don't he's smart, but I'll be honest. When he was here, there was kind of a back and forth at the center position, if you remember, between him and Corey Linsley. And not that I was anti J.C. Tretter, but I was a Corey Linsley guy. Fifth round pick from Ohio State. Really, he was the right guy. He deserved the job. Dealt with some injuries, which opened the door for Tretter for a while, but obviously he became a really, really good football player. And frankly, so did J.C. Tretter. But J.C. Tretter, I never had the relationship with him like I had with a bunch of other players, including you. I never built that kind of rapport with him, but I saw the same. I don't do quite as much show prep as you do, obviously, being the consummate professional you are. But I saw some of the same things, and they are not flattering. And I'm not sure if in Adam's position he's going to be able to look at that stuff and be as hypercritical as maybe you and I are able to be.
Do you know the percentage of the vote, how it came down, Jason? What percent he got? Are those numbers not out yet?
I have not seen that. I'm assuming that if they can leak it to Kalen Kaler, I assume the league will probably try to do that instead, right? The league wins that thing about the grades, and then miraculously the NFLPA did not release them. So they just must have hacked into our system, and every high-profile reporter got their hands on them. So I don't know, but again, I have my own issues with the NFLPA. You know this. I understand that you have to focus on the current players, but the fact that they don't figure out a way to be more demanding about things like lifetime health care, given what you guys put yourselves through. Too many live in the moment and not enough people thinking down the line that really prevent them from succeeding and not realizing, hey, someday I'm going to be a former player, and I probably need to have some things that are going to take care of me.
Just quickly, Jason, I don't know if you noticed, I'm sure you'll love this one. They are breaking tradition and not doing a press conference for their new head executive at the NFLPA. Wonder why he would not want to be asked questions.
Gee, I wonder why. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's interesting. Maybe who has a press conference first? J.C. Tretter or Jonathan Gannon?
Saw that one coming a mile away, gang. I think the other thing that I saw was that wasn't there some quote unquote confidentiality about the candidates? The people who went in to vote or something like that didn't know who the candidates were, so they couldn't do any sort of vetting of the candidates. What? It was mostly there's some wild stuff. Joshy put me on to the Pablo Torre Finds Out podcast where he did a deep dive into this. Scandalous. Absolutely scandalous. If you haven't gotten a chance to listen to that one, it's a good one to throw on in the car at about a 0.13. Or 1.3, rather.
Yeah. Deliberate speakers.
1.3 or 1.5, because they are both deliberate speakers. Jason, we really appreciate you taking the time this morning. Enjoy your day. We'll be rooting for a Wisconsin victory against High Point around noon.
I'm rooting for Paul and the girls to get on an airplane around noon and be home by 4:30.
Jason's like, I'm putting all of my wishes. I'm plucking eyelashes. I'm doing all the things.
Exactly. Fingers and toes crossed. By the way, great. This was a great segment by you three. It was awesome. I would also hasten to add, when we're talking about this, that you're 1.3, 1.5. I'm told people do that with me too. Do I talk too slow?
I've never noticed it.
I don't think you talk slow.
And I'm a person who listens on 1.3 to almost everything. So if someone talks slow, I notice it. It sticks out.
I didn't know what the hell you guys were talking about, so I just let you go.
Would you like to know, or would you like to stay in your ignorance?
I was like, we're getting close to my grade point average. Ooh, I better stay silent.
All right, sorry. I didn't mean to extend that. But that was worth it to get his drop in. Yes,
all right.
Exactly.
Jason Wilde.
All right, guys, take care. Be good.
On Wilde and Tausch right after Jen, Gabe, and Chewy each and every weekday here on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. We got to take a break still. A lot of stuff to get to this morning, including a big announcement. Stick around for that here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. We want to tell you guys about my friends over at Geis, because they've been the trusted garage door authority in Wisconsin for 70 years. Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geis today. Geis was over at our house a few weeks ago, changed out all of the tracks on our garage doors. Why? Because we live in Wisconsin. And you know what happens? The bottom of the tracks get rusted. And before they rust out, we wanted to make sure that we had new tracks for our garage doors taken care of, and Geis did it no problem. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to geisdoors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield, which features hundreds of doors and openers and their custom design room. Don't think twice. Call Geis, geisdoors.com, geisdoors.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Westbound 94 backing up from 35th Street all the way through to Hawley Road. On the eastbound side, we got backups from just before Springdale Road all the way past Calhoun, not quite to Moreland. Then we've got more delays from 84th Street all the way through to 35th. Also seeing backups northbound 41 from Watertown Plank Road up to Burleigh. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, early freezing rain should come to an end. Partly cloudy with a high of 43. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 35. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you.
We're not trying to get from A to B. We're trying to get from A to SB, as in the Super Bowl.
800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
March into big savings at Exterior Pros and Baths. Refresh your home this season with energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, beautiful new siding, or a stunning bath remodel and get $3,000 off your project. That's $3,000 in instant savings during their March savings event. But this offer won't last long. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
This is a special notice to U.S. taxpayers owing $10,000 or more to the IRS. Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying taxpayers that tax relief initiatives are now available that may significantly reduce or eliminate what you owe. If you're afraid of an IRS lien, levy, or wage garnishment, don't lose hope. You can now take advantage of these current relief programs to end all collections, reduce the amount you owe, and resolve your tax problem. Even if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are already in a payment plan, you may still qualify for significant relief. Struggling taxpayers can now get relief they need during these hard economic times. A hotline has been established by Tax Relief Advocates for you to call and see what you qualify for. They are A+ rated with the BBB and have over 1,000 5-star reviews. Don't wait. Call 800-575-9087, 800-575-9087. That's 800-575-9087, or simply visit TRA.com.
Empower
Pete's back on the links with all new golf clubs and hopefully less swearing.
Dang, sliced it.
He worked with Empower to help him get good at money so he can be a little bad.
Heads up!
Oof. Talent sold separately.
Guy said these were slice proof.
At least he has money for lessons. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What if you could have a spa-level sweat session at home for about 25 cents a day? That's why I love my infrared sauna from Good Health Saunas. You can check them out in person at the State Fair Park Expo Center's Home and Garden Show, March 20th through the 29th. It's the perfect chance to step inside, compare models, and even ask questions. Good Health Saunas has been doing this for more than 20 years, and they back it all with a true lifetime warranty, which was huge for me. If an infrared sauna has been on your list, find Good Health Saunas at State Fair Park, March 20th through the 29th.
A very hearty hello to you good people out there. I'm Ruth from Horicon Bank. I suppose you thought I was in Downpatrick in County Down, but I'm right here in the Mayfair Collection branch of Horicon Bank. Did you know that Horicon Bank has been serving people like your good selves for 130 years? So they're good at it. Come on in to any of our 20 branches and see for yourselves.
Member FDIC. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
What operating system does a Chewy computer run on?
I believe it's a Cat 14.
It's a COS. It's a Chewy operating system.
I was thinking Windows 98.
Yeah, very similar.
It's dial-up. Let me get my modem.
Chewy.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Back here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, what if you could have a spa-level sweat session at home for 25 cents a day? That's why I love my infrared sauna from Good Health Saunas. And if you want to see them up close and personal, go to the State Fair Expo Center's Home and Garden Show. It's March 20th through the 29th. It's the perfect chance to step inside, compare models, ask questions, and see how easy they are to install. Good Health Sauna has been doing this for more than 20 years. They back their saunas with a lifetime warranty. That's huge, of course. But the benefits, oh man, they're fantastic. I definitely step into my sauna after a workout. My recovery gets sped up. My skin feels better. My hair feels better. My sleep is better when I use my Good Health Sauna. And if you want to check them out, go to State Fair Park Expo Center, March 20th through the 9th. Tell them Jen from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy sent you. We're asking you this morning, given the latest developments with Giannis and the Bucks, has Giannis played his last game for the Milwaukee Bucks? Give us your reasons why or why not. Look, for me, the one caveat here is if Giannis and the Bucks decide that he will get an opportunity to quote unquote say goodbye to the fans, to the city of Milwaukee, etc., and they let him play a game on the court. Even doing that minimizes your risk, but there's still risk involved, Chew. I mean, what a kick in the teeth it would be to shut him down and then let him, do what we just proposed there, and then he gets injured in that game. I think the concern has been that these are all sort of leg and calf injuries, now knee, and the concern is, of course, the dreadly Achilles injury that we have seen, take down too many superstars.
Yeah, I still think the risk is minimal, and I think he's kind of owed it. I mean, because he has meant a lot to this team, this city, and everything. So if that's how they negotiate this thing out through the last 14 games, I mean, I'd be a little nervous, but I think, like I said, I think it's fair to him to allow him to do that if in fact. But what I would do with this is, I would want a definitive answer. Just tell us, are you gone? I don't want to hear the maybes. I don't want to hear, I don't know, I don't control my agent. Give me an answer. Give me a definitive answer. Are you gone or are you coming back? I don't think it's very difficult.
Reaction rolling in on the Carbless Talk and text line 800-990-3776. Ryan from McGuanago, loyal listener, says, at this point, the Bucks should be okay being the a-holes. You agree with that, Shu? Put your foot down, be the parent, be the authority figure here?
I don't know if I wouldn't use the word a-hole. You got to protect your investment. You know what I mean? I think this has run its course. They've done I believe they've done everything they can for the guy. The trades they made, the people they tried surrounding him with, it just didn't work out. I mean, the Dame Lillard thing was a disaster because of the injury. I don't think they owe him anything anymore. They've done all they can. If they decide to part ways, one game, give us an answer. If it's no, okay, here's the deal. We're going to allow you to play this one game, and we are going to move you in the off season. You know, does it have to be a place where he wants? You know, you're heading towards a divorce. You know, I want the house. You know, I'm taking the house. I don't think they have to placate to him anymore of where he wants to go. You're going where we can get the best deal because we've done everything we could do to make you happy. And it didn't work out.
800-990-3776. Tim weighing in on the Carbless Talk and text line. Honestly, I love Giannis. I wish him all the best. But the only thing I care about with the Bucks is who is going to be their next GM and their next head coach and where they're picking in the lottery. Good luck, Giannis. We appreciate all your time here. Do you think that reflects a majority of the sentiment? Because I am seeing a lot of appreciation. And look, Giannis should take some solace in the fact that I think most people, the majority of Bucks fans, appreciate more than they are frustrated, right? Because there has been a little bit of a turn. You've seen people who now are like, enough of this. I saw a tweet this morning that said, as annoyed as NBA fans are with the Bucks drama, I can assure you, Bucks fans are 100 times more frustrated with the way that this has all gone down. So I do think that if Giannis is looking back going, did I do everything I could for the Milwaukee Bucks franchise? Heck, you brought him a damn championship. Mm-hmm. You know? Like, that's the thing that I hope that people sit there and marinate on as this thing sort of reaches its inevitable conclusion. Marco weighing in on the YouTube stream. Remember, you can always watch the stream on YouTube and weigh in. He says he's played his last game for Milwaukee, but I won't be mad if he's traded. He brought this city a championship.
But, Jen, I don't think you fire John Horst. I think John Horst has done a great job. I mean, making the deals. Drew Holiday, who's the guard they got rid of before that? That just didn't work out.
Eric Bledsoe.
You move on. You get Dame Lillard, who's was still considered one of the best players in the NBA. Got him.
Well, and that meant moving on from Drew Holiday, right? Who was a fan favorite as well.
But I don't think you fire him. Yay or nay? I thought he's done a great job.
Let me ask you this. Is your argument that you don't fire John Horst because his number one priority was doing everything he could to keep Giannis in a Bucks uniform as long as possible, and you believe he did that, therefore he checked off the one, job requirement?
I think 99% of the GMs would have done exactly the same thing he did. I really do. And I think he's a good GM, and I don't think he should go. Now, say what you want about coaches, because a lot of these coaches didn't work out. I don't know. Should you have kept Bud? Because there were some train wrecks in there. So that has to be looked at. But I kind of like what he did. I think he did everything he could do to keep him here, and it just didn't work out.
I do think there is a portion of the fan base that would give their left arm to have Mike Budenholzer on the bench this season.
I agree.
Not all positive reaction rolling in this morning on the Carbless Talk and text line. Cindy weighing in saying, get rid of him. Enough is enough. This is ridiculous. And Josh says, at this point, as much as I hate to say it, they need to trade him. He's only going to get more injury prone and lose his athleticism as he ages. I feel he's already on the downslope. I could be wrong, but I'd say take what you can get for him before it's too late. And maybe it is that sentiment, Shu, that is guiding or driving the Bucks front office and their decision or desire to sit Giannis for the remainder of the 2025-2026 season. We got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Keep getting us your reaction on the Giannis Bucks situation, which is, of course, ongoing. Look, news is always changing. They could come out today and say, yeah, you know what? We talked about it, and Giannis is going to play for the rest of the season. That wouldn't shock me either. Would anyone be shocked if all of a sudden this thing took a turn?
Then I might think that they reached an agreement where he's going to sign the deal.
Fair enough. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy rolls on. Ready for this. Stick around.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN. The Brew Crew are back on March 26th.
Turio sends it deep to left, and there she goes!
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they open up the season against the Chicago White Sox.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
Brewers opening day is presented by Construction Business Group. Tune in March 26th at 1:10 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Game Night, so for Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
It's about time delivery worked on your schedule. Same day, next day, or scheduled in advance. However you plan it, the Home Depot delivers the whole job. From drywall to doors, plumbing to paint, we'll get it there when you need it. Because on the job site, timing is everything. You order, we deliver. It's that easy. The Home Depot Pro. It's about time.
With Progressive Customer Service, there are lots of ways to connect with us, so you never have to miss a second of your favorite sport. Because you'd much rather watch a ball go through a net 124 times in 48 minutes when you don't really have to pay attention until the last two, and then somehow those 2 minutes will take an hour. You don't want to miss all that. Luckily, you can chat with Progressive on our app, online, or over the phone without missing a single one of those times the ball goes through the metal circle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Evan Cohen here. In life, as in sports, the pros make it look easy. That's why pro golfers like Jason Day, Ben Griffin, and Patton Kazire trust the pros in lawn care. True Green. They have the experience and expertise to give you a lawn worthy of the PGA Tour. And since True Green does the work for you, you get more free time, or more tee times. So stop stressing over your lawn and start loving it. Sign up now at TrueGreen.com, because nobody makes it easier to get a golf course quality lawn than True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
You got to have a condiment with the bread.
Yeah, you want
can't
some
eat the
sort
bread
of
alone.
Yeah, you want some sort of lubricant with the bread. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah,
it's just necessary.
You follow?
Like, you don't want to just be sitting there eating like pieces of white bread with nothing on it.
Can't be going dry.
Yeah, it can't be raw dog and just white bread.
On 94.5 ESPN.
We have a big announcement this morning. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy wants to let you know. We've been telling you about Thanalysis Live. It's going on next week. Very exciting. I'll be handling the hosting duties. Super pumped to be back for that. As you know, Thanasis Antetokounmpo always puts together a star-studded event. We've got Ric Flair headlining this year. And this morning we want to let you know we got two other big names in Milwaukee sports who are going to be at Thanalysis Live next Friday at the Riverside. Chewy, you got any idea who's going? Who's it going to be?
I read the email.
Well, it's a good start.
Yeah.
Pretty good start by you. Look, what are the odds of Chewy reading the email, guys? 50-50?
Less.
40-60? 30-70, Joshy?
Yeah, that seems about right. Mm-hmm.
So at Thanalysis Live this weekend, guys, Milwaukee Brewers manager Pat Murphy is confirmed as a guest. Milwaukee All-Star Jacob Mizorowski is confirmed as a guest. Both will be in attendance at the Riverside this weekend, this Friday, for Thanalysis Live. And a little special for you guys happening right now. If you buy one ticket, we're going to buy the other. That's right. Thanalysis Live is one of the biggest nights in Wisconsin sports. We don't want anyone to miss out. So if you buy one ticket, ESPN Wisconsin is going to buy the other. Be there for the night. Yeah, absolutely. Time for the horn. Be there for the night that will have everyone talking. It's March 27th, Thanalysis Live, a completely unpredictable show with Thanasis Antetokounmpo and surprise guests. We've already told you, of course, about Ric Flair. You remember when Stephen A. Smith joined the show, or when Bobby Portis brought down the house. You remember when Giannis Antetokounmpo walked out on stage just hours from leaving the hospital when his daughter was born. TALiveshow.com. That's where you get the tickets. If you enter the code ESPNWI BOGO, that's ESPNWI BOGO, BOGO, when you check out, it will allow you to buy a second ticket on us. So you should buy one, get one for Thanalysis Live on March 27th at the Riverside Theater, TALiveshow.com, TALiveshow.com. I got to be honest, I'm a huge Jacob Mizorowski fan. Yeah, I'm excited about him being there, Chew.
Is opening day next Thursday?
It is.
And has he been named the starter for opening day?
Not officially.
Yeah. There's not many options. Yeah. If I were to guess.
That's a star-studded lineup.
And I believe there's more to come.
Is
I believe.
Really?
That has been the word. The two we've announced just now, very exciting. I can't think of two people that have risen in stardom in Milwaukee in the past year,
5 years,
year. Yeah. Both of them are just absolute guys. I want to hear from Miz and Pat Murphy pretty much at all times.
And Thanalysis doing the interview.
Yes.
Right?
Correct.
It's going to be wild.
Will Miz and Murph be on at the same time or no?
I haven't gotten the run of show. I apologize for that. I would imagine they probably are going to be around each other, seeing as they have some familiarity.
Might be a little intimidated.
TALiveshow.com, TALiveshow.com. That's where you can go this morning, tomorrow, whenever, but we encourage you to do it sooner rather than later. And you will get buy one, get one. Just enter the code ESPNWIBOGO. ESPNWIBOGO. I hope you're writing that down out there. Maybe it's not as complicated as I think it is. Maybe people got it on the first try. And we will buy your second ticket for Thanalysis Live Friday. Oh, Josh, kind of you.
Yes.
You put it up on the stream. Promo code ESPNWIBOGO. Special guest Ric Flair already confirmed. And, of course, we just mentioned that Jacob Mizorowski is going to be there and Pat Murphy are going to be there as well. A star-studded event, no doubt. I feel very lucky that they're going to let me handle the hosting duties yet again. You know what that means, Joshy? I didn't screw up so badly the last few years that they were like, we're going to go in a different direction.
I take it as a big win. They haven't looked elsewhere. They said, we got what we need here. I haven't screwed up. Look at you.
Look at me.
Yeah, whatever happens, we get you away from these microphones in this room, you're a star.
Professional.
Yes. Have you sworn at any inappropriate times like you do here?
No, but you want to know something? Now that you mention it. I did that event with Nick Saban, a few weeks ago.
Okay.
I didn't know you can't say ASS at a corporate event.
Really? Jen,
Nick Saban is famous for giving out ASS chewings. That's what they're called, right? He said that's called an ASS chewing.
Did you get a slap on the wrist or the little, hey, can you not do that?
Saban goes, can we say that? And then he goes, you're a bad influence.
Jen, you might want to be a little proactive on parking, though. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Guilty as charged. Oh, get there early?
Well, find out, on Wednesday, where you're going to park for the event on Friday.
Take an Uber, maybe. Just avoid it altogether. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy rolls on right after this.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Big delays southbound on 43, starting at Hampton all the way down towards Locust. So give yourself tons of time there. We've also got big delays northbound 41 from Watertown Plank Road up almost to Capitol Drive. Eastbound 94, heavy from 164 all the way through the Barker Road area. Back on the brakes from 84th Street to 35th. Westbound is slowing down from about 27th Street to about Mitchell Boulevard. And also seeing some big delays on Highway 18 in Waukesha, basically between Broadway and just almost to Highway 164. So watch out for that. That's on the northbound or eastbound side, depending on how you look at it. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Early freezing rain should end. It'll be partly cloudy for the rest of the day, a high of 43. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 35. Weather is brought to you by Good Health Saunas. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Look, it's Jake from our store in Kenosha.
Hi, Monica. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Rick.
Your email said you had a big surprise.
Look and tell me what you see.
Wow, I see 9 perfect examples of the classic diamond solitaire engagement ring. They're gorgeous.
These rings are exactly what people imagine when they hear the words engagement ring.
Monica, do you think it will always be like that? Ever more.
That long?
And each of these is 3/4 of a carat.
$998.
Unbelievable. So how much do we sell them for?
That is how much we sell them for.
Can we do that?
We're the largest employee-owned jewelry company in America, Rick. We can do anything we want.
But for how long?
Evermore.
People can choose any of the 9 most popular style solitaires, 3/4 of a carat, and each of them was created in the heart of a miniature star.
5 different diamond shapes, 2 colors of gold. Evermore. Just $998. Or $1498 with 1 carat diamond center with diamonds on the side.
Learn more at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle Bruston Nortman every day from 2 to 5. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamara. Here's Jen Latta.
March Madness officially gets underway today. I'll be out at the Potawatomi Sportsbook all day enjoying those games, putting some bets down on the teams. Wisconsin playing High Point today. I believe that game is about noon, like a 12:05 tip Central. But Joshy, I didn't realize you were telling me that they're playing out in Portland. I mean, good. I'm sure that I should have been aware of that. I just didn't know that that's how far of a game it is. So what time local? 6 a.m.?
I believe it would be like closer to like 10 their time is what they're what's ended up happening here, and this is a thing that Badgers fans have lamented for quite some time. I believe I saw Frank Kaminsky talking about it as well. Is the Badgers seem to end up in poor scheduling instances where they have to, especially competing in the Big Ten tournament, you're typically playing later into the week, especially if you're playing a team like High Point or a team like James Madison, where they've had a longer layoff, so their travel is easier. teams like the Badgers and teams in the Big Ten that then have to go west end up with challenges. Like, was it last year? Basically, BYU ostensibly had a home game, and that's not the first time this has happened to the Badgers. I don't know if they're just using the fact that the Badgers fan base travels well. So, hey, we stick them out west, we're going to still have good attendance for those games, or if there's something more here where they're being forced to sort of meet challenges that necessarily aren't fair competitive-wise.
The Badgers, too, and their 24-10 record have been fun to watch this year. They're very fun team. But I will say this. Did a little digging as I was filling out my bracket. High Point is a team that is fast. They average 90 points per game, ranked third in the nation with that total. One of the keys to their scoring is their ability to get to the foul line. They average 27 free throw attempts per game. What?
Yeah, but who are they playing? High Point? That's more of a baseball school, I believe. Right?
Okay.
I mean, who? I mean, we make fun of Miami of Ohio for their schedule. I'd like to see High Points. Who have they played of substance? Bottom line, this should be a smoke show. How far what would be acceptable for the Badgers?
Did I see the line was 10.5, Joshy? Does that sound right?
Yeah, it's opened around 12, dropped down to 9.5, might have landed somewhere around 10 now. The High Point plays in a conference. It's the Big South with Winthrop, Radford, UNC Asheville, Longwood, Presbyterian, Charleston, USC Upstate, and Gardner-Webb.
Okay, fine. I can't believe it's only 10.
You think they're going to cover? It sounds like you think they're going to cover.
Yeah. I would think they would.
Folks correcting me on the YouTube stream, it's 12:50 tip. So not 12:05. Okay. I flip-flopped my 0 and my 5. Sorry about that, gang. So excited for that. And filling out my bracket, I'm not going to lie, guys. In previous years, I always do give me one 5-12 upset. Okay? I try to lock in a 5-12 upset. It doesn't happen every year, but it happens often enough that I want to lock one into my bracket. The other thing I saw when I was doing my research last night is 10 seeds win over 7 seeds 39% of the time. So is that enough, nearly 40%, Joshy, for you to look at those 7-10 matchups on your bracket and go, Missouri? Could Missouri knock off Miami? Not Miami of Ohio, Miami, obviously, of Florida at this point. Is that one of those things where you take a second look at those 10-7 matchups, Joshy?
The way I've approached since the advent of NIL is we talked about it yesterday on the weekly wager from Potawatomi that the 12-5s have sort of become more of the 11-6s because the 11, 12, 13, and down seeds, they are now so much worse than they were in the past.
Yeah, picked over.
Right, because all those kids who have a good time at those smaller schools.
Who have a good time.
Yeah, who play well. They end up going somewhere and being on somebody, even if they're not a starter, on somebody's bench. They go from a smaller school to a bigger school, and oftentimes they will end up being starters as well. So those schools are really thin in terms of talent. If they have talent, it's probably young talent or guys that have stuck around that really don't have a place in these big major conferences. So they're certainly going to be I do think the days of a Florida Gulf Coast sort of running through or a UMBC, I sort of think those are gone. I think Sweet 16s is probably the ceiling for a lot of those teams. Now, certainly it's going to happen on occasion, but I think the madness to a degree is going to drop as we know it when it comes to the tournament.
So what's acceptable for the Badgers? Sweet 16? I mean, they got probably going to play Arkansas next.
Yes.
Who's a good team.
Very good.
With Calipari in his first year there?
Yes, and they have one of the best players in the nation in ACUF as well. So,
and they're in the Arizona bracket, and Arizona has just been destroying teams this year. So, hey, look, it's a tough draw. Yeah. Right? Which, again, why do I feel like I say that every year for the Wisconsin Badgers? It's a tough draw.
The whole thing with the Badgers and Greg Gard is you got to make a second weekend. You got to make the Sweet 16. And that it's no easier, but the Badgers team is good enough to do it. It's just do they play the games that they need to get there? I'm not very concerned about High Point. Maybe I'm going to rue those words here in a few hours. But a game against Arkansas is going to be challenging. But it's a tournament. That's sort of what you have to beat good teams.
But similarly, and this goes back to just the way that we consume March Madness, guys, I want close games, right? The only investment I have, save a few dollars here and there that I might throw down on some of these games, is my bracket. Who cares? Bust it away. I don't care. I want good games. I want compelling games. I want down to the wire. I want last-second shots. I want all of those things that March so often delivers to us. And so if my teams that I pick in my bracket lose, but I've been entertained for the last 2.5 hours, that's a win. And that's why I think, again, I was talking to the guys over on 620 this morning, the number of teams involved in this type of championship run, in this type of tournament layout, is why we love it. Because it's not just the one championship game. It's not just the two teams going head-to-head. You're invested on multiple levels. And I always talk about this. The reason why we love sports, beyond the X's and O's, beyond the competition that I just referenced, are the stories, right? There are so many stories on each of these teams that you can get sucked into. The Miami of Ohio is just one example, Yeah. Did you see the game at all last night where the swim team showed up again in their Speedos and they come marching down the stairs middle of the game and they're standing there making all that noise? Like, that stuff is fun. That's why we love college basketball. It's why I think that obviously this is a lot of people's favorite sporting event on the calendar all year.
Are you going to Pato because you're working, or are you going for your leisure?
Column A, column B. Isn't it nice when you can work at your leisure?
Because me and the wife go every year. Well, we planned on going because we thought we'd be back home if not for the snow, but we usually go to Champs every year on the first day. But now we found the Champs of St. Pete, which is actually owned by Matt Geiger. Remember Matt Geiger? You don't remember Matt Geiger?
Before, and I'm having a hard time recalling it.
Big White Stiff? Miami? No? So yeah. I love this. This stays great, and I really don't know a lot of players playing or teams playing. I love the atmosphere.
And it doesn't even matter.
I love the energy.
It doesn't even matter.
No.
So will you guys belly up to the bar?
Of course.
You got plans? When are you going? A little lunch?
Well, I thought the game was at noon. I thought the Badger game was at noon. It's good to hear that I could get a little more work done.
So it's at 2
it's actually,
for you, 150.
150.
It's 150, which is perfect.
As luscious as you might say.
It's right in that wheelhouse, Joshy.
I know it. Is this the second day in your sports day in your calendar behind Masters?
No, 4 days of the Masters. It's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, I was counting it as one event.
Yeah. Nothing beats the Masters. Nothing. But I would put this, if I had to power rank, it's top. I don't know. I love college football. Opening weekend of college football would probably be 2. This day would be 3 or 4.
Are you saying week 0 or week 1?
Whatever the good games are.
So week 1.
No, I would say week 1. Week 1. Because week 0 is like Ireland, right? Dublin.
They usually mix that in. There was a decent game this year, wasn't there? The one that was in Ireland? And there were parents fighting in the streets or something?
Georgia Tech. Jen, were you there?
Yeah.
Who played?
Florida State.
Against?
Georgia Tech.
Oh, I got one right, so.
Yeah, it's a big win for you.
Yeah, that is a big win.
Reaction rolling in on the Carbless Talking text line. Ron of the Key said, it just hit me, pun intended, that we're playing a school with high in its name in Portland, Oregon. Bucky is cooked. Ron of the Key also complaining this morning that we call Ryan from Iguanago a loyal listener, but he just gets called Dip Bleep.
Yes, that's what I call him.
Because you're an agitator, that's why.
Yeah.
We're not big on agitators.
Wait, Joshy is an agitator or Ron in the Key is an
Josh
agitator?
is, but Ron's the biggest agitator.
I mean his agitation with agitation. Yes. Fire with fire type scenario.
Cut from the same cloth.
Yes.
Yeah.
800-990-3776. What would be a successful weekend for your Wisconsin Badgers? Joshy, you're saying getting 2 next weekend, so winning these 2 games, and that would be considered a success for the Wisconsin Badgers?
Yeah, I think so.
When you're a 5 seed, it feels like the expectations are higher than that, doesn't it?
Well, as a 5 seed, you have to then beat the 4 seed, and then you face the 1 seed. You're kind of blocked out there. Like, to set the expectation of beating one of the best teams in the country, I don't know if that's fair. I think just based on where they are in the bracket and sort of how good those top 4 to 8 teams are. Like, those are some buzzsaws, and they're going to present very real challenges. But we've seen, the Badgers beat Michigan, took them down to the wire. They've beaten good teams. They're certainly capable. Would I be stunned if they beat Arizona? No. But when you put both teams out there, you go, hey, if you give Arizona a good game, I don't know if I can really expect more than that. Do you know, by the way, either of you, do you guys know anything about High Point?
I know it's a good baseball school.
Just what I told you earlier.
It's a private university.
Oh, about the actual university? I thought you were talking about the team.
Yeah.
I was like...
Yeah, they have just free ice cream for all the students all the time. They have a steakhouse on campus.
Wait a minute. This is like one of those elite.
Yes.
Right? This is like where the rich people send their kids.
Very
yeah,
bougie.
yeah.
Remember being in college and parking your car somewhere and all the tickets you would get and the constant, and if you don't pay they just have free parking. It's just like an idyllic place where you get everything for free. You could just go to the steakhouse on campus. It's like not a real place. It's like Hogwarts, but brought to North Carolina.
That's exactly what I was going to say. And they got the good North Carolina weather.
Yes.
Reaction rolling in. Let me continue getting to this. John in MKE says, okay, what time is the Badgers game? Because you said 12:05, then you said 12:50. Now you're telling me 1:50. Please make up your mind or get the correct time. Okay, so here's how it went. I said 12:05 because I flipped the 5 and the 0, right? I saw it. My brain flipped them. It's actually 12:50 Central Time, John. But Chewy's in Florida. And he was saying, is it going to be during his lunch hour? I said, well, yeah, it's at 1:50 his time, which is almost 2 o'clock. So that's following the bouncing ball on the time of today's Badgers game. Caleb from Horicon weighing in saying, a successful weekend for Marquette would be Wisconsin losing in the first round.
That's a good pop.
All right, you take it down a notch, Golden Eagles. You're not even allowed to talk this morning. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy rolls on after this. We've enjoyed having Professional Construction Inc. help with our home projects. As you might know, my husband and I can't handle all of the things that come up with having a home, owning a home. And so when we get in over our head, we call our friends at PCI. They're coming out in the next few weeks, taking a door that we had to a balcony, converting it to a window. Because, you know, we got girls. We can't be having doors where they can sneak in and out of the house. In their bathroom. Maybe you're not ready for a full construction project, but if you're ready to refresh an outdated room, call my friends at PCI. They've got photorealistic renderings, a mood board, a curated shopping list, all delivered directly to you. Learn more at professionalconstructioninc.com. It's professionalconstructioninc.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Things are slow northbound on 41, basically from Wisconsin Avenue all the way up past Burleigh. Southbound's just tightening up a bit past Capitol Drive. We've got southbound 43 also slowing down just before Hampton, all the way down to Locust. We've also got northbound 4394 slowing down out of the Mitchell interchange around the Plainfield Curve, all the way to the KK River crossing. And checking the GMJ4 storm team forecast today. Early freezing rain should end. It'll be partly cloudy for the rest of the day, a high of 43. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 35. Weather is brought to you by Good Health Saunas. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Remember how you felt when you were 25? Your morning workouts were a breeze. You had a drive that kicked in way before your first cup of coffee. Does it feel like you're losing your edge? You know, it might not be your age. It could be low testosterone. At Mentality, we'll get to the bottom of what's really going on and build a personalized plan using testosterone replacement and peptide therapies to help restore your energy, focus, and drive. Get back to being the guy you used to be. Book your appointment with Mentality at lowtusa.com. Again, that's lowtusa.com.
Looking for a dinner that actually impresses and cocktails that keep the conversation going? Head to the second floor of St. Kate the Arts Hotel and discover the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails. Bold, elevated dinners, thoughtfully crafted cocktails, It's the kind of place where every plate and every pour is made with intention. Come for dinner, stay for another round. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
Hey Tom, I want a new hoop for the kids. Any ideas?
Yeah, I got mine from Precision Sports over 10 years ago. They helped me choose the right hoop, installed it, and even painted my court lines.
Nice. How do I reach them?
Easy. PrecisionSportsOnline.com for a free quote.
Look around your office. Does it look like 1994 called and wants its lobby back?
Most brands just show up, often amongst outdated decor.
At Captivate Exhibits, ordinary space is the enemy. Beige walls, faded graphics, that motivational poster no one reads.
That's not culture, that's camouflage.
Captivate designs and build spaces that don't whisper, they speak. They spark conversations. People lean in.
Stop blending in and start captivating today at CaptivateExhibits.com.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Where else can you get football analysis that includes things like dropsies and pixies and interceptsies and flowy? It's flowy. The offense needs to be more flowy.
On 94.5 ESPN.
If you're looking for a dinner that actually impresses and cocktails that keep the conversation going, you gotta head to the second floor of St. Kate the Arts Hotel and discover the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails. Bold, elevated dinners, thoughtfully crafted cocktails. It's the kind of place where every plate and every pour is made with intention. Come for dinner, stay for another round. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails is on the second floor of St. Kate the Arts Hotel. There are official numbers out now, Chew, for Rasheed Walker's contract. And I think it's safe to say that he did not get what he thought he would get on the open market. It's a one-year deal, $4 million for Rasheed Walker, who got $3.215 guaranteed. That according to Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network. What's your reaction to how this whole thing shook out for Rasheed Walker? And do you still believe that the Packers should have managed it differently and that he could have been a sixth man on the offensive line for them instead of having him now suiting up for someone else?
Yeah, I'm blown away. A lot of people missed, including myself. I mean, how he was on a lot of boards ranked as like 5 through 10 when it comes to available free agents.
Totally, yeah.
So, I mean, the Packers should have done something. I mean, what was his base price, Josh? Like $4 million?
It was the three number that Jen said, the 312.
3.215 guaranteed.
That's backup money.
Oh, you're talking about for the Packers? Are you talking about for the Packers, or are you talking about with the Panthers?
What he signed for.
What Walker signed for? I mean, would you guys have been fine if we signed him to that exact same deal with incentives where he could make up to $10 million?
See, I don't know why they would, though, because why he would sign, because the incentives would be based on playing time.
Yeah.
And they've clearly made the decision they're going with Jordan Morgan at this point.
But I think you're wondering about an injury, right? That's the gamble that you take is somebody gets hurt.
Yes, but signing with a team like the Panthers gives him the opportunity to start because they have a patellar tendon injury to the guy that was there, and then they had a retirement for Josh Nijman. So I think he's making his case for being a actual starter, being able to earn some extra money than what those base numbers dictate. The interesting thing is what was happening in that competition if they don't value Rasheed Walker as a $3 million type of left tackle, and the rest of the NFL clearly didn't as well because he ended up going somewhere where it's not the greatest situation. He could have leveraged, you would imagine, the Panthers, who are desperate for a left tackle, and that was all he was able to get. Like, did they just not like Jordan Morgan? Was Jordan Morgan that much of a disaster to them? Because they didn't even have a competition this past season. Walker was out. Rasheed just came back and took his position, and then they kicked Morgan over to right guard. Is it his lack of flexibility they don't want? He can only play left tackle, and that's what's going on here? I can't really parse out what happened in this saga.
Well, and the fact that it took so long, Chewy, I think also indicates that other teams around the league were not hot on him either, right?
But his PFF grades were actually not bad at all, and we referenced that quite a bit on this show. It's just, I don't know. It's bizarre to me because we obviously weren't the only ones that thought he would get a big deal. I mean, how do you go? I mean, he went from top 10 free agents available, probably the worst free agent signing out of anyone.
So then does that tell you that the Packers were right on? That the Packers saw what the market was? Because, again, they're not getting a good end of the deal here either, if I'm following this correctly, right? Like, this changes the compensation.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The compensatory pick is now maybe not even on the board. If he plays a lot, he can probably earn himself into that 6-7 region. But right now, it's not looking great. And that was the one we were sort of all banking on, being like, oh, yeah, that's a third, fourth, depending on how much he gets and how much guaranteed it is.
I just look at the way he played these past couple of years, beat everyone out. And if we could have had him at left tackle, where most left tackles are making buku money for $4 million, that gives you, on a team that's going to be a little cap strap these next couple, well, I mean, maybe not so much, but when these big contracts kick in, they're going to need all the money they can. And I played with some, I mean, obviously, we all know about Bruce, but John Michaels and Ross Verba when he was young was not great. I thought he was a serviceable lineman, and going back to what Balaga said a couple weeks.
$10 million, we mentioned that. $4 million base value, $2 million signing bonus, salary $1.215. Who cares? $3.25 fully guaranteed. We mentioned that. The $40,000 per game active roster bonus is interesting. And Josh, you were saying he has a chance to really make up a ton of ground there because of the injuries to other members of the offensive line. $105,000 workout bonus. Incentives obviously are what get this to that $10 million number. So, but I also saw that it looks like the Packers are in a position where they could still get the max, the 4 comp pick maximum, even without the Rasheed Walker compensatory pick. Is that what you saw, Joshy?
Yeah, it's just the value of the picks are not as high as they could have been because, yes, when you start factoring in, they did not cost themselves any of the compensatory picks. And if you expect Malik Willis to play a full season, that's going to push up value along with Quay Walker, who ostensibly is probably going to play the full stretch of games as well. So that's where you get your full amount, and you didn't give up anything by the moves you made in free agency.
Josh, it's not performance. It's just the fact that if you start or play,
yes, it's playing. It's a formula based on the amount of money you get and then the playing time that you have. So you can boost what you're initially slotted in if you play all 17 games, all the snaps available to you.
And the money is figured into that as well.
Yes.
So they wouldn't get much for Rasheed, even if he started all 17
Yeah, I haven't
games.
seen the updated because everyone was slotting him in as making like $10 million just sort of as is. And I don't know how the incentives affect that. Yeah. And if they're even planning for him to be their starting left tackle, I don't know.
I do agree, though, that part of the Rasheed Walker situation in Green Bay was this idea that they were going to recoup some of that value. And the contract that he signed there makes it more difficult to do so. I'm not saying it's the wrong decision to pivot to Jordan Morgan. I'm simply saying that what you were going to get back in exchange for Walker was part of the reason you felt comfortable pivoting to Jordan Morgan. Because it certainly isn't what you've seen from Jordan Morgan on the field. Right? That's not. You haven't seen enough from Jordan Morgan to feel confident in him being the guy.
Because who'd we ask? And he said, well, he had a really good preseason. Well, okay. Sure, Hutchinson and all these top DNs.
Yeah, and then the only other game we got at left tackle was the game where he was playing with Jacob Monk and Clayton Tune. And he didn't look great in that game, but also I don't know if anyone would really look great in that situation aside from like a bona fide star. So I don't know what to make of this. Did the Packers bail out too early because they thought his market was way higher? That's certainly potential.
Again, and the compensatory pick would have been better.
Right. Or is it just everyone around the NFL looks at him and goes, this isn't a guy that we think should be holding down one of the most important positions on the field? I guess we're going to figure out that information, but it seems with how low that money, that's who was John Runyon? John Runyon made more on the free agent market, didn't he?
Probably. But if you were to give him a grade, what would you give him?
I think it was
last year.
I think it was like a C+, B-.
Yes, I was going to say the exact same thing.
I do think the end of the season was troublesome for him, the way he performed in the Bears game and the amount of penalties he had gotten.
Yeah.
I do think that was sort of maybe a signal that dropped some of that value, but I mean, he started for multiple years.
Yeah. And he's 26 years old.
Yeah.
Again, and again, I know that, Chewy, you talk about how sometimes being long in the tooth on the offensive line is better. Just because of the reps that you have, and you sort of have those veteran moves. But I do think that C+, B- for his time in Green Bay is fair. I also think you're not talking enough about his dependability, his durability, which, again, when we talk about consistency on the offensive line, which we talk about all the dang time, it is nice to know that you can put a guy in there and not really have to worry about them missing substantial time. So I think that is a feather in his cap. And yeah, the whole thing has just been very surprising how it's all shaken out. We got to take a break. Still a lot of stuff to get to, and we are running out of time per usual here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Joshy?
Are you looking for a weight loss option that works, a weight loss option that can fit into your lifestyle? That's where Milwaukee Weight Loss comes in. I'm Josh DiMaggio, and I'm starting that journey with Milwaukee Weight Loss. From the first consultation, their team really listened to build a customized plan around me and my goals. I'm down over 30 pounds at this point. I'm eating all sorts of new and fun foods, and I'm even trying to get new pants because I'm down a couple sizes. And for a limited time, you can get $200 off with their spring special. Safely and naturally keep the weight off. Many have found success and real results, continue to have amazing reviews from real people who have gone through this same program. This program is different. No intense workouts, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no counting calories or points. No drugs or surgeries or injections. Just a proven metabolic reset. Some people lose 20 to 30 pounds in just a month or two. Milwaukee Weight Loss has already helped thousands of people change their lives. There's no better time than now to take control and start feeling confident again. Schedule a free consultation at 262-235-3980 or visit MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
We got southbound 41 backing up a bit, right past Capitol Drive. The northbound side looks a little worse. We got more delays from Wisconsin Avenue all the way up to Capitol. Southbound 43, heavy from Hampton all the way down to about Locust. We've also got eastbound 94 hitting the brakes. You're seeing delays starting around 76th Street, and it's pretty much solid all the way to 35th. Then it opens up into the Marquette. You're good to go. On the westbound side, 27th Street's going to be slow all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, early freezing rain should end. Partly cloudy skies for the rest of the day, a high of 43. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 35. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Josh DiMaggio here for Milwaukee Weight Loss. I've been on this journey since January and already lost 30 pounds. It's been easy, safe, and their team continue to help me reach my goals. Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. And for a limited time, get $200 off the spring special. Book your free consultation at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Results may vary.
Grab the dial and crank it up, baby, because Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee is spinning its Winning Hits collection. Over the next 3 months, you could win a share of over $1 million in prizes. On top of thousands in cash and reward play, you could win one of 3 new Ford vehicles in the grand finale drawings on March 27th. Just play with your rewards card to earn entries. Press play on the Winning Hits collection, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
What if you could have a spa-level sweat session at home for about 25 cents a day? That's why I love my infrared sauna from Good Health Saunas. You can check them out in person at the State Fair Park Expo Center's Home and Garden Show, March 20th through the 29th. It's the perfect chance to step inside, compare models, and even ask questions. Good Health Saunas has been doing this for more than 20 years, and they back it all with a true lifetime warranty, which was huge for me. If an infrared sauna has been on your list, find Good Health Saunas at State Fair Park, March 20th through the 29th.
March into big savings at Exterior Pros and Baths. Refresh your home this season with energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, beautiful new siding, or a stunning bath remodel and get $3,000 off your project. That's $3,000 in instant savings during their March savings event. But this offer won't last long. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
National Player of the Year.
Paint left hand, and the game is tied. Kids magical.
Wisconsin legend.
Dump it inside. Dump back in. It's Kaminsky.
Frank Kaminsky joins KBN.
Who was your favorite teammate of all time?
See, it's a baiting question because you want me to say you.
On the Yingling Legends Live.
No, I'm not.
What?
No, it's not. It's not me.
You were annoying to play with.
Yingling, America's oldest brewery. Now available in Wisconsin. D.G. Yingling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly. It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I mean, pumpkin seeds.
No, little suckers. They might be. What did you say before, Jen?
Sesame but those are white.
No,
white.
these aren't white. No, this isn't on the outside. This is on the inside.
Seeds on the inside.
Oh,
yeah.
So you got some sort of
scrotum.
On 94.5 ESPN.
If you're headed to a Milwaukee Bucks game, make a bet at Potawatomi Sportsbook and catch a shuttle to Fiserv Forum. That's right, you make a purchase, you make a bet, they'll give you a wristband, and you have a spot on the shuttle. Shuttles leave about an hour and 15 minutes before the game time through the start of the game, and then they return in the third quarter and run nonstop until 1 hour after the game. They pick up and drop off in the annex, which is right next to the sportsbook. So convenient. You should bet above the rest at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Not much time left here on the show. Ryan from McGuanago has weighed in on the Carbless Talking text line saying, you don't have to call me loyal listener anymore. You can just say more loyal listener than Ron in the Key. Do you like that?
A little too long. It's like nicknames that are too long.
It's a mouthful is what you're saying? More than a mouthful?
I didn't realize Ron was sensitive.
Oh,
that's his leading characteristic.
I thought agitator was his leading characteristic, no?
Oh, no, that's secondary.
Oh, maybe the sensitivity leads to the agitation.
Well, he hasn't called back ever since I called him a DS.
Well, he did mention it this morning on the Carbless Talking
Did you
text
say that
line.
on the air, Joshy?
Oh, nope, couldn't say it then, can't say it today.
Okay.
Good thing you used the old
I would
initials.
say this, Jen. We've been on kind of our best behavior over the last couple months or so.
Sure, yeah. Let's go with that.
Josh?
No, I just haven't really told you guys when you get dumped.
How rude.
I had to use it for Homer on Monday.
Did you?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He cursed?
Sure did.
Feel a little bit better.
Which
if
one
the
did you
GOAT of
use,
Wisconsin Sports Talk Radio can curse, then maybe I should be allowed to do it as well. I want to get to this before we move on, guys. So I mentioned to you earlier in the week that there's all sorts of different ways of filling out a bracket, right? If you want to win, obviously, you got to win the later rounds. You got to have the teams in the Elite Eight. You got to have the teams in the Final Four. Hopefully pick the winner, but usually that is a recipe for success. But I said that there was a post on Twitter where a guy said that they do a family bracket every year. Everyone has to fill one out. Use whatever criteria, whatever methodology you want, and that the family cat has to fill out a bracket as well. And the family cat has parameters, right, Chew? I told you this?
Yeah.
It's animals over humans, and then it's big cats over little cats. So I decided to fill out a cat bracket just for funsies. It's not going well. Okay, I just want you to know out of the gate, it's not going well. For example, How do I square Blue Devils versus Saints in the Duke-Siena matchup? What would the cat do?
Well, you go with the good side. You don't go with the bad side.
So you got to go with the Saints, the 16 seed?
You're not going with the devil on the shoulder.
I was going to say, I know what Chewy's going to say, and you don't pick the devil.
Yes.
It's bad juju.
Yes.
Why, Joshy, do you pick the devil?
Well, it's Duke. They're the 1 seed in that region.
Yeah, I probably let my rationality take over on that one.
What would Jesus do, right? You got the Buckeyes and the Horned Frogs. I assume frog as an animal takes Buckeyes. Again, that feels like a bad pick to me.
Yeah, I mean, animals have to win, and a Buckeye is a nut from a tree?
Yeah, that's 8-9. So again, St. John's is the Red Storm, and Northern Iowa is the Panthers. That's a 5-12. Does that mean I have to pick a Panther? I know.
Yes.
I know. I got to pick the Panther. This is on the cat bracket, of course. This is not letting any sort of logic or basketball acumen dictate the picks. This is simply the cat bracket. South Florida, the Bulls, taking on the Cardinals of Louisville. I guess.
See, I think you got to take the animal or whatever, or that would crush the other one.
Yeah. Okay, so
I think like a bull is crushing what, a horned frog?
Yeah.
Or who is it?
Bulls versus Cardinals. It's Louisville.
Yeah.
Again, that's an 11. So again, we're taking the 11 seed, the Bulls, over the 6 seed, the Cardinals. Again, I'll write it in because it's the cat bracket. I got to follow cat rules. A couple other ones that are problematic. The Knights of UCF versus the Bruins of UCLA. That's Bears, right?
Correct,
a Bruin is a
right?
bear, so you got to take the bear.
I think you have to, yeah.
But the Knight has a sword. I mean, who would win in a fight? I'm taking the Knight. I mean, if you have a sword against the bear,
it's a brown bear, man. Aren't those like grizzly bear? Is a Bruin different than a grizzly? I don't even know.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
if
up on my
you
bear
yell at
knowledge.
it first and then stab it, it'll stop.
If you stab it, it'll stop. You got to get close enough to stab it.
Yeah, but the yelling at it will shock it. That's what you're supposed. Are you supposed? Yeah, you yell at bears if they come
I
at
believe.
you, right?
Now, I could be wrong here, but it might be different for different bears because some bears, like a black bear, I know for sure you're supposed to make yourself as big as possible.
Yeah.
And yell and do anything to get them to sort of get skittish. Now, when we're talking about the massive grizzlies, I don't know if that works with them as much.
Yeah, but if they come out of hibernation, they're still a little bougie, so you got a shot.
All right, here's a tough one
but
for
they're
you.
hungry.
You got the Vanderbilt Commodores versus the McNeese Cowboys.
You got to go animal. It's a bird.
A Commodore is a bird?
Is it not?
I don't know. I thought it was like a chef.
I'm thinking of
like
condor.
A maitre d'. You're thinking
I thought condor.
Fantastic. Fair enough. Honest mistake. I'm pretty sure a Commodore is like a soldier or some type of like.
That's what I thought.
So versus cowboy. What would the cat do? Again, we're pushing this through the cat picks.
Cowboys are tough. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Look, this thing went sideways. This thing went sideways real fast on me is all I'm trying to say. I was trying to follow cat logic, and I've gotten stuck way too many times.
Like, let me ask you a question. What the hell's a Crimson Tide?
It's an elephant. Well, the elephant's a mascot.
So do you go with the mascot of the elephant?
I think you have to.
No,
because
that's not an elephant.
Is it?
That's their mascot.
Yeah, their mascot is. But
I
Crimson
know
Tide,
it's their mascot, but what is a Crimson Tide?
It started as a nickname, did it not? That the newspapers
No, I think that's
them.
Red Tide that they have down here. It's a wave.
I don't know if the origin of that is actually correct.
No?
I believe it was I don't know. I haven't looked into the origin.
Okay.
I'll tell you one other thing that's gotten tough for me is there's a lot of teams I don't know the mascots of. Like, does anyone know what Long Island is?
The Beavers.
Are you just guessing?
Yes.
Because I think it's the Sharks.
Oh, that's close.
In what world is
Aquatic
a beaver?
Animals.
Oh, God.
Long Island is Finley the shark.
So Sharks.
Yeah.
Sharks versus Wildcats. Now, again, cat logic is cat has to win. I got to go with the Wildcats.
Not in water. It doesn't win, though. It doesn't.
Yeah, but neither does a shark on land.
Well, have you seen Saturday Night Live?
And where are they playing the basketball, Chew? All right.
They played on the what was it? A ship.
The carrier.
Yeah, aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
And everyone was slipping on the
but
floor.
sharks can be out of the water for like 5 minutes, and then they just jump back in and they get their superpowers.
They jump back in with what legs?
A land shark.
Do we know what the High Point mascot is? Oh, no.
I'm gonna say,
Prowler the Panther. Apparently, they're the Panthers.
It'd be a deep run for High Point.
According to Cat Logic.
Ooh, Panther versus Badgers are nasty, though.
100%, but you got to go for the cat bracket. You got to go with cats. It's big cats over little cats, animals.
The cat is doomed this year.
I think you might be right.
I think he's screwed.
I think ordinarily you have a good option. I mean, we're talking about Arizona, the Wildcats.
Yep.
You mentioned BYU.
Cougars, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this might not be the year to do a cat bracket, guys.
Nope.
Look, I'm going to follow through. I'm going to finish it up and just see where we stand at the end of the day, but I think it's going to be messy. I would advise don't do the Cat Logic if that's something that you were maybe thinking about doing on one of your fun brackets. Infinity Exteriors Twitter poll: refresh your home with roofing, siding, or windows, all backed by their lifetime workmanship warranty. InfinityExteriors.com. We put it on the Infinity Exteriors Twitter poll this morning. Has Giannis played his last game in a Milwaukee Bucks uniform? Let us know. We'll be right back after this.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Don't miss a moment of the basketball tournament action this March at 3rd Street Market Hall, home to your one-stop must-stop viewing destination. 3rd Street Market Hall has over 20 locally owned food vendors, a 30 self-serve beer wall, over 50 HD TVs, plus game day specials. The perfect place to work remotely or catch a game between meetings or over lunch. 3rd Street Market Hall is your downtown home for basketball this March.
Looking for a dinner that actually impresses and cocktails that keep the conversation going? Head to the second floor of St. Kate the Arts Hotel and discover the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails. Bold, elevated dinners, thoughtfully crafted cocktails. It's the kind of place where every plate and every pour is made with intention. Come for dinner, stay for another round. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
Hi, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Most contractors cut corners and disappear when there's a problem. Not us. Since 1997, we've completed over 60,000 projects, earned thousands of 5-star reviews, and were named 2025 Roofing Magazine Contractor of the Year. We set the standard for exterior remodeling. Trusted by homeowners, proven every single day. We're excited to show you why choosing Infinity means peace of mind. Visit infinityexteriors.com to see why your neighbors trust Infinity.
Some companies build projects. At Professional Construction, Inc., we build relationships.
That means showing up early, taking pride in the details, and having each other's backs, on and off the job site.
We're looking for skilled carpenters who really care about their craft and want to be part of a team.
Not just another paycheck, but a place where the people you work with actually matter.
If you work hard, take pride in what you build, and want to join a tight-knit crew, then we'd love to meet you.
Apply today at professionalconstructioninc.com.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HAWK to 321-321 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HAWK to 321-321. That's HAWK to 321-321.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I'm saying if we collectively, all the people in their cars, all the people listening on the YouTube stream, all the people listening this morning, if we all do it together, there's power in prayer, friends.
Yes, there is. Bless me, Father, for I played man.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Bucks taking on the Utah Jazz tonight. Jazz, one of the few teams that have a worse record in the NBA than the Milwaukee Bucks.
I believe they were being investigated by the NBA for
that. Yes, yeah. I believe you're correct. And the big story today is, of course, that the Bucks would like for Giannis to sit for the remainder of the season, and Giannis would prefer not to do that. He is obviously nursing an injury right now, but when he is healthy, he wants to be back out on the court. And as we said at the top of the show, and when we talked about it in the first hour, that is certainly admirable. Nobody is sitting here saying that that is a bad quality or characteristic to have from your superstar. However, Chew, common sense at this point is to protect the asset, to keep him healthy, to keep him from injuring himself further in the final 14 games of the season.
Who do you think wins out at the end of the day?
I don't know. You know, there's a part of me that thinks that this organization may say to him, hey, we get it. Like, you want to go out there, you want to have your opportunity to, play for the fans maybe one last time or a few last times before the inevitable occurs this offseason. And again, maybe it isn't the inevitable. I'm just reading the writing on the wall. I'm just reading the tea leaves of everything that has happened and has gone down. I think that Giannis is moving on. And for that reason, I think the organization is saying we can't risk you getting injured and then affecting what we might get back for you in a trade. But look, I've seen crazier things. I've seen crazier things than them figuring it out and Giannis staying in Milwaukee.
But isn't this like an NFL team? It'd be like if the Packers played Jordan Love against Minnesota at the end of the season in a game they already in the playoffs, meant nothing, and then Love gets hurt. Right? I mean, we love to second guess. And if something did happen, whoa, the Bucks would get drilled.
Well, and I think the element that has to be considered when you mention that is, has Jordan Love in this scenario, in this hypothetical scenario, dealt with injuries all season long? Because that's the reality with Giannis, right? We're not sitting here saying he's been healthy all year. This just sort of popped up out of nowhere. I think there's a concern that there might be some chronicness to him having been injured multiple times this year, and that also is a factor. And you got to consider all things. That's a factor. Obviously, what is happening this summer potentially is a factor. There's just too many things to consider. Where the Bucks are, obviously, in the standings, the fact that they are, mathematically not eliminated, but more than likely out of the play-in. All of those things are being considered when they're making this decision. Joshy, did you put a vote in earlier today? Do you think Giannis has played his last game in a Milwaukee Bucks uniform?
I do. I think there's going to be some movement made and some finality discussed. I know Giannis has been reticent to do that or give any real indication of what he plans to do next season, but I think this is the final push that's going to make everyone sort of decide enough's enough. This is it. We're going to make an effort to trade you to a destination where you're happy to sign. We're going to do the sign and trade, and we're going to move on with our lives. And thanks for your services. Thanks for the championship. But we got to call it quits.
I should check the poll results, huh?
Yeah.
Probably should have checked them 3 minutes ago. What are you going to do? Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Northbound on 41, we've got backups from just before Mayfair Road all the way up towards Capitol.